The Kalashnikov USA TS-12 Tactical. Let's check it out. In 2014, when Russia invaded the Ukraine, the U.S. put an embargo on all Russian-made firearms. Kalashnikov USA was formed in 2015. While it's a subsidiary of the Russian weapons company, it is not connected with Kalashnikov in Russia. And that way they can build these firearms in the U.S., in fact, in Pompano Beach, Florida. These are all made in the USA, and yet all the quality and the designs are direct from the original Russian designs, which makes these really solid. One thing they say is these are not copies of copies. This is a true Russian design firearm, and yet made in the USA, which is really the best of both worlds. Since that time, they have developed their KR9, which is a 9mm AK, which hopefully we'll be getting soon, but also their KR103, which is in 7.62 by 3.9. So a number of different really Kalashnikov designs are coming back to the US, and that's great to see. Now the KS-12 is based on the Sega design, which means that it'll take a lot of the Sega parts and even more importantly, the Sega magazines, in which there's a lot of different choices out there. But Kalashnikov USA also offers a number of different magazines as well. And I want to thank the guys over at Gun Zone Deals for sending the KS-12T for this test and evaluation. Now the word that comes to mind with the KST-12 for tactical shotgun is that it's intimidating. It's already got that classic look of the AK-47. All the controls are the same. There are some differences. We're going to take a look at it. But overall, if you're used to shooting AK-47s, you're going to feel right at home with the KS-12. And even if you're not, this is a really incredible shotgun system. Now you do get two 10-round magazines, and these have been very reliable for us. And of course, the gas system really aids in making these very reliable. We're going to look at that in a minute. It has the standard paddle mag release. Just bring it, rock it out, and it comes right out. Check the chamber, and it's empty. Now, while these are 10-round magazines, they do offer a 5 and a 30-round and then a 50-round drum. But what's really cool about these magazines is that they are Sega compatible. In fact, the KS-12 is compatible with many of your Sega parts. And just like the AK-47, you lock and rock. The KS-12 will shoot up to 3-inch shells, but we typically shot 2 3/4. I did hear that they were having a few issues with the 3-inch shells and the magazines holding up. This little lip is polymer. It does have steel reinforcement around it. With the 3-inch shells, some of them were pretty aggressive, and they were having a few issues with the magazines. Now the finish on the receiver looks very well done. Rivets are set correctly. We have a large safety, which is typical for your AK. It is really smooth. One thing you'll notice is it doesn't put a mark or much of a mark right here on the receiver, which typical AK safeties do. Also, when you bring back your bolt, it does have a little notch here to hold your bolt open. Now, one thing that we've noticed is with a full magazine, you can't load it with the bolt down. Even though I have seen some reviews where guys were loading it anyway, but for us, we just couldn't get those rounds to feed in here with the bolt closed. And so that really makes it important to have that little notch. The great thing is you just bring your safety down and it brings the bolt home really fast. You have your standard charging handle. The grip's contoured, and it does have a rubberized coating, overmold coating on it, so it's really comfortable. But again, you can put different Sega grips on here. Anything, again, that's compatible with the Sega. Enlarged trigger guard, and really great for gloved hands, and considering this is a Russian design, that's important. Now the sight radius is pretty short, but on a shotgun it's not as important. We have a little blade notch in the back, and then we have a post at the front, and these are polymer. The post is metal. But it does have a rail attached to the receiver, so if you want to put a mount on here, you can attach a red dot or some kind of other optic. Now the handguard is all polymer, but you can get metal handguards, actually from Kalashnikov USA. They are M-LOK compatible. But this is the one that's standard coming on the KS-12. It does have Picatinny rail sections on both sides of the handguard. Also it has QD points, and then you have a Picatinny rail at the bottom. The barrel's 18.5 inches long. It is cylinder bore, so you can shoot slugs out of here. And so then you have your flash hider right here. It is right-hand thread, which makes it nice. And so you can actually change this out. There's a lot of options to be able to use different type muzzle devices on the end. But and the threads are really fine, so you're going to have a lot of strength there, but you can see bringing it out. Really easy to attach. Now here you have your gas settings, low and then high. Your low is obviously for field loads and most of your low brass type shells. And then you have your high settings for really high velocity shells. There is a small wrench that's included, and there's a detent, and you just push down and it deactivates the detent, and then you just turn it. It's really easy to adjust in the field, but it has a little lanyard hole on here, and I would utilize that. The buttstock is 6 positions, has a small lever here. You have QD points, you have area for slings. They do come with a number of different types. In fact, they even have a folding stock that'll fold to the left. But very useful, and there are different stock options as well from Kalashnikov or whatever will fit this rail system. It is polymer, and then it has the adapter plate right here. But again, QD points here as well. And it does have a nice rubber butt pad. And guys, if you're shooting full magnum loads, you'll appreciate it. Now I measured the KS-12, it was 39.5 inches overall with the stock collapsed, and it weighs 8 pounds, 10.5 ounces with the magazine. Let's check the trigger action. The gun has been safety checked. Got a little bit of take up right here, and then we hit a little bit of resistance, and then it fires. Reset right there. Trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 4 pounds, 15.8 ounces. All right, we're going to try a number of different loads. We have some target loads, we have some high velocity, we have buckshot, and so we're going to try these and change the gas systems, and we really appreciate Fiocchi for supplying the ammo for us, and especially during this time, but all made in the USA, good quality shooting stuff. Now, anytime you take a 12 gauge shotgun to the range, you're going to have your hands full, especially if you're trying different loads. With the birdshot loads or the target field loads, it was very reliable. We put it on the low setting, we just shot, we had no issues whatsoever. When we moved up to buckshot, really the recoil was not that much different, to be honest. We put it on the high setting, we were shooting it, it was very reliable, and we really enjoyed the buckshot. Now when we moved to the high velocity high brass, like turkey loads and things like that, I mean, it was moving pretty fast and it did bump your shoulder, but you're using high velocity shells. But even then, it's a very manageable shotgun. This will take obviously the slugs. Again, we've shot buckshot. I mean, anything from 2 3/4 up to 3 inch. And so one of the things about a shotgun like this and with the adjustable gas system is you need to find the rounds that suit you the best. And definitely you need to take it out, try it out. But we didn't have any issues with this as long as we had our gas settings right. Low for target and field loads, and then high for more of your high brass. And of course, with handling this firearm, I mean, it's just like an AK. All the controls are the same. While the magazine is bigger, it still comes out the same way. You know, you just do that lock and rock, just like you have a beer can, just bring it in really close. The sight radius, we were getting on target really easily. I mean, it was easier to see. I was kind of concerned because it is a really short sight radius. But here, with it low down to the receiver, I mean, it's that natural place where you put a shotgun. And then with the cheek weld, it worked out really well with this M4 style buttstock. The pistol grip, very comfortable. And again, you can change out a lot of these parts for standard Sega compatible parts, which makes this really nice. And again, this is a complete Russian design, made here in the USA. To disassemble the KS-12, typically you push here behind the dust cover, but there is a detent to keep that from coming down, so you have to depress it, push down, and then pull your dust cover off. It's a little tight. In fact, this is the first time I've actually taken this off. Then we take our guide rod and we push it forward and bring it out of that rail system and then just pull it right out. There is a plate here that goes on the recoil rod around the spring, and that's a little different than your AK. Then just bring your bolt back and lift it up and it'll come right out. And guys, I mean, there are some differences. This is a lot thinner than your standard AK, but definitely you can see the AK design all throughout. And that bolt is massive. And again, installed is your Tapco G2 trigger. It's a very smooth trigger. The G2's been around for a long time. It's just an excellent trigger. Now the gas system adjustment puck, you need to remove this to keep this clean. The Kalashnikov USA recommends cleaning this after 40 rounds of slugs. And then of course with other type loads, you know, you have more time. You can just watch and see how your action's moving. Now take your tool, depress the detent. And we're just going to bring it around like we would to the low setting. You're going to hear the detent click in, and then just bring it around again. You want to keep doing this until this comes loose. And you'll find that the detent quits holding in the puck, so just keep unscrewing it. Now we can pull it off. You can see the little cut right here that allows for more gas or less gas according to where you turn it. Now they recommend taking a cleaning rod and pushing it through, and then you just tap out your puck. There it goes. And here is the puck, and you can see it gets really dirty, so we're going to want to keep that clean. And also you want to keep this whole area right here cleaned out. There's a small ledge right here that holds the puck into place, and there was a lot of debris in there, so you want to keep that clean using a brass brush or whatever, and then coming in and out. This is a very important part to keep clean for your gas system. Next, we're going to put the puck back in, and it's a little tricky at first. There it goes. It'll rest on a ledge right here, so once it goes in, it's in. And then go ahead and put back on your regulator. The low just allows more gas to come through. The high actually restricts the gas so it doesn't tear up your gun. So if you're really going to shoot high velocity loads, really they recommend even buckshot and any kind of slugs, you're going to want to do that. It'll finally rest on the detent, and so what you're going to do is take your tool, go ahead and continue to tighten down and bottom it out. Okay, and that is bottomed out, so now we can bring it back to the setting that we desire, whether high or low. Now notice right here you see the H and the L. The H is the high setting, and that's what it's on right now, and it's down next to the detent. And when you want to switch that, just bring the L around to be next to the detent. Now bring your bolt back in, twist it, and it's going to come right into the right spot. Take your piston, put it into the gas tube, take your bolt carrier, push it down, and then it just goes forward. Take our recoil spring and guide rod, go ahead and lock it into this back section right here. Okay, take your dust cover. What I like to do is take and just push a little bit here on the guide rod and fit it right into the receiver, and then bring it down, give it a wrap, and it'll pop the detent back out. I'm going to tell you guys, this is a really solid lockup right here with this dust cover. I mean, it is solid. This whole shotgun really is very solid, solidly built. Let's go ahead and test for function, and we're good to go. Now guys, there are a lot of really good quality shotguns and firearms coming out of Turkey. And they're really holding up well. I mean, I really like them. But when I got a hold of the KS-12T, the fit and finish, just the solid. I mean, everything is solid. Everything is tight. There's no magazine wobble. The dust cover's really tight, really smooth safety. The finish on it's really nice. And to be honest with you, this is a step above. Now the price on the KS-12T on the Gun Zone Deals website is $899. And we really appreciate those guys for sending this for this review. So guys, while there's an embargo on the Russian-made firearms, the Kalashnikov USA TS-12 is made in the same design as the traditional Kalashnikovs. Also, very compatible with all your Sega parts. And so that makes it really great. But the best part is it's made right here in the USA. And for $899, not a bad price. And again, I want to thank Nate over at Gun Zone Deals, formerly Gun Pro Deals, for sending the KS12T for this test and evaluation. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America, long live the Republic. All Soviet made, not Soviet, it's Russian. Soviet's old school. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless them. Be strong.
Do what?
A wife beater, doesn't that make you a man too?
Yeah. It runs. You suck.
He's
It's just easier.